Welcome back to the channel, coin lovers and coin enthusiasts. In today's video, we're diving into the fascinating world of US dimes, tiny coins that can hold massive value. We'll uncover the top 6 most expensive and most valuable rare Roosevelt old dimes, including some that have sold for thousands of dollars. If you've ever wondered whether that little dime in your pocket could change your fortune, stay tuned, because you won't want to miss this. So, grab your coin jars and get ready, because one of these valuable dimes could be sitting right in your home, waiting to change your fortune forever. Let's get started. First up in the 1982 D issue stands as a fascinating piece. At first glance, it seems like an ordinary dime, but behind its simple design lies a story of history, minting changes, and hidden rarity that has turned certain examples into treasures worth a fortune. The obverse features a proud portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, facing left, a design introduced in 1946 to honor the man who guided the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. This simple yet bold portrait carries an air of strength and determination, values that Roosevelt embodied throughout his presidency. For collectors, that portrait is not just art. It's a symbol of American resilience and legacy. Now, what makes the 1982 D. Roosevelt dime so intriguing? First, it was struck at the Denver Mint in a year of major transitions for U.S. coinage. 1982 was the year the U.S. Mint began eliminating mint marks on certain denominations for proof and circulation strikes, and it was also a time when rising metal prices pushed the mint to streamline production. As a result, certain mint mark varieties and error coins became unexpectedly rare. The Denver Mint, represented by the D mint mark on the coin, produced millions of these dimes, but within that massive production lurk rare varieties that have stunned collectors and auction houses alike. The obverse side of the dime carries the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," with the date 1982, followed by the tiny D mint mark. While this seems straightforward, the charm lies in the details. Collectors obsess over strike quality, luster, and any unusual characteristics. Die cracks, double dies, off-center strikes, or even missing elements can make an ordinary dime worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars. These varieties often slip unnoticed through circulation, waiting for sharp-eyed collectors to discover them decades later. Imagine finding a small coin in your change that could pay for a luxury vacation or even a new car. On the reverse, the Roosevelt dime is a masterpiece of symbolism. Instead of a bald eagle, which appears on many other U.S. coins, the dime features a torch flanked by an olive branch on the left and an oak branch on the right. This elegant trio represents liberty, peace, and strength, a powerful combination that resonates with America's core ideals. Surrounding these symbols are the inscriptions "United States of America," "E Pluribus Unum," and "One Dime." It's a compact design that tells a big story, and collectors adore the intricate balance of the reverse motif. When such a coin bears a rare minting error or a unique strike anomaly, its value skyrockets. Why do some 1982 D. Roosevelt dimes fetch enormous sums at auctions? The answer lies in rarity combined with condition. Coins that escaped heavy circulation and remain in near-perfect condition, graded mint state, MS, by professional grading services, are highly sought after. Add a rare error, such as a missing mint mark or a double die, and you're talking about a coin that can command prices in the thousands. Some examples have been known to sell for over $1,000 even without dramatic errors, simply because of pristine condition and strong demand among collectors of modern U.S. coinage. One fascinating aspect of 1982 dimes is the transition period they represent. During this time, the Mint experimented with different methods of producing coins efficiently, which sometimes led to quality control slips. Off-center strikes, partial collars, and die adjustment strikes have been reported among 1982 D dimes, making them a playground for error collectors. A coin with such an error can be a numismatic jackpot, and the thrill of the hunt drives countless enthusiasts to examine their pocket change carefully. Every day, someone checks their old coin jars, hoping to stumble upon one of these elusive rarities. Imagine the excitement of discovering that an ordinary-looking dime in your possession is a hidden treasure. Stories abound of lucky individuals who turned pocket change into four-figure payouts. And this isn't just a dream. 1982. Roosevelt dimes with unique characteristics are consistently in demand. The key lies in knowledge, knowing what to look for, understanding grading, and recognizing the subtle details that separate a common coin from a rare one. Collectors often advise keeping an eye on the date, mint mark, strike clarity, and any unusual features. For a tiny 10-cent piece, the potential payoff is extraordinary. It's worth noting that most dimes from 1982 are still worth face value, but the thrill comes from that rare exception, the coin that defies the odds. What makes this so exciting for everyday people is that these coins were produced in the millions, and they still circulate. That means your next big find could be sitting in your loose change, tucked away in a drawer, or lying forgotten in an old piggy bank. Unlike rare gold coins locked in museums, these treasures are hiding in plain sight. The possibility that you could be holding a piece of history worth hundreds or even thousands of dollars is what makes coin collecting so irresistible. Collectors and investors alike know that modern rarities are the future of numismatics. As older coins become scarcer and more expensive, attention shifts to coins like the 1982 Roosevelt Dime. It's a coin that bridges the gap between everyday currency and collectible art. For serious numismatists, finding one in perfect mint state or with a dramatic error is like striking gold. These coins often end up in protective holders, certified by top grading companies like PCGS or NGC, and then trade hands in major auctions. When bidding wars erupt over a small silver-colored dime, it's a reminder that value isn't always measured by size or weight. It's measured by rarity and demand. So, the next time you come across a dime, pause for a moment. Look closely. Does it have the 1982 date and mint mark? Is the strike sharp and the surface gleaming? Or do you notice something unusual about the lettering or design? That little coin could be your golden ticket. In today's coin market, knowledge is power and fortune. With rare coins like the 1982 Roosevelt Dime fetching premium prices, your spare change might just hold a secret treasure. Coin collecting isn't just a hobby. It's a hunt, a passion, and sometimes a life-changing discovery. Will you be the next lucky finder of a dime worth hundreds, or even thousands, of dollars? Next up in the 1996, Dime was minted in Philadelphia to commemorate a very special milestone, the 50th anniversary of the Roosevelt Dime series. First introduced in 1946, this coin honored President Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who led the nation through the Great Depression and most of World War II. The obverse, or front side, features Roosevelt's dignified profile facing left, accompanied by the powerful national motto, "In God We Trust," and the word liberty, a bold reminder of the values that shaped the nation. Below, you'll find the year 1996 and the Philadelphia mint mark, which makes these coins instantly identifiable to collectors. On the reverse, the symbolism is just as striking. Here, you'll see a torch standing tall, flanked by an olive branch on the left and an oak branch on the right. These elements represent liberty, peace, and strength, a timeless trio of ideals. Surrounding these symbols are the inscriptions United States of America, E pluribus unum, and the denomination 1 dime. Every detail on this coin is steeped in meaning, and for 1996, the design carried a special weight because it marked half a century of this iconic series. But what truly makes some 1996 dimes incredibly valuable isn't just their symbolism, it's their rarity and errors. Here's where things get exciting. The U.S. Mint produced a unique set of 1996 Roosevelt dimes that were never intended for circulation. These special dimes were struck with an extra level of care for collector sets to celebrate the series' 50th anniversary. Unlike ordinary business strike coins, these dimes were minted using polished dies and extra pressure, giving them a sharp, proof-like appearance. If you happen to own one of these special mint set coins in pristine condition, its value skyrockets instantly. Even a regular 1996 dime in high grade, graded MS-68 or higher by professional services, can bring hundreds of dollars at auction. But that's just the beginning. The true treasures among 1996 dimes are the error coins, and this is where fortunes are made. Imagine finding a dime with a missing mint mark, or one that was struck on a wrong planchet. or even a double die obverse where the lettering appears doubled. Such rare mistakes are highly sought after because they are one-of-a-kind pieces of U.S. mint history. A single dramatic error can push the price of a dime from a few cents to thousands of dollars, and in some headline-making cases, well beyond that. The coin collecting community goes wild for these oddities because they combine rarity with historical intrigue. Another key factor driving up value is condition. Collectors grade coins on a scale from poor, P1, to perfect mint state, MS 70, and for a 1996 P dime, the difference between a heavily worn coin and a flawless, lustrous example can be staggering. An average circulated dime might only fetch face value, but an uncirculated, gem-quality coin with full torch bands, a designation known as full bands, or FB, can easily sell for hundreds or thousands. In fact, the combination of rarity, condition, and demand can create explosive prices at major auctions. Why would anyone pay such outrageous amounts for such a small coin? The answer lies in collector psychology and rarity. Coin collectors are passionate historians, and owning a unique error coin or an ultra-high-grade example feels like holding a piece of America's story. Plus, the 1996 P dime has an emotional connection. It celebrates a 50-year legacy of a coin that has touched millions of hands since World War II. Combine that emotional pull with the thrill of rarity, and you have a perfect storm for sky-high valuations. Now, let's talk real numbers. While an ordinary 1996 P dime in your pocket might only buy you a stick of gum, certain examples have sold for jaw-dropping amounts. A pristine 1996 P and MS 68 full bands can reach $500 to $1,000. Rare error coins, like a broad strike, off-center strike, or double die, can fetch several thousand. And for the ultra-rare, high-grade special mint set coins or unique errors, the bidding wars can push prices into the tens of thousands. Stories circulate in the numismatic world of collectors paying small fortunes for the right coin, proving that even a dime can be a golden ticket. The best part? These coins are still out there. They're hiding in old coin jars, forgotten collections, and even loose change. Millions of dimes were minted in 1996, but only a small fraction meet the criteria for extreme value. That means every time you receive change at the grocery store, you could be holding a mini fortune without even realizing it. All it takes is a sharp eye, a little knowledge, and a touch of luck to uncover one of these treasures. So the next time you see a 1996 P dime, take a closer look. You might just be staring at a life-changing discovery. The 1996 P dime, even more legendary in the coin collecting world, is its role in connecting two eras of American currency. Think about it. This coin bridges the past and the present. It honors President Franklin D. Roosevelt, a figure who helped shape the modern United States, while also standing at the edge of the digital age. In 1996, the world was on the brink of a technological revolution, yet here was a small silver coin still carrying traditions of craftsmanship and history. For collectors, this blend of historical tribute and modern production adds another layer of fascination. Because owning a high-grade or rare error 1996 P dime isn't just about money. It's about preserving a tangible link to American heritage. In the world of numismatics, the phrase "check your change" isn't just advice, it's an opportunity. The 1996 P Roosevelt Dime proves that rare finds aren't limited to dusty vaults or high-security auctions. They're out there, waiting in the wild, ready to reward those who know what to look for. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious beginner, the hunt for these rare coins is thrilling, and the potential payoff is enormous. So don't ignore that little silver coin. It might just turn your pocket change into a small fortune. Who knew that something as humble as a dime could carry the power to transform your financial future forever? Next up in the 2002 D Roosevelt Dime, a coin that at first glance looks like ordinary pocket change, but under the right circumstances, it could be worth an absolute fortune. Yes, you heard that right. This small dime has stunned collectors with its rarity, historical significance, and the skyrocketing prices it can achieve in today's booming coin market. So, if you think all dimes are worth just 10 cents, think again, because what you're about to discover might just change your life. The 2002 D Roosevelt Dime was struck at the Denver Mint, and bears the iconic portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States. This design has been in circulation since 1946, honoring Roosevelt's legacy as the leader who guided America through the Great Depression and World War II. On the obverse side, Roosevelt's profile faces left, with the word liberty boldly inscribed along the rim and the motto, "In God We Trust," just below his chin. The year 2002 and the all-important D mint mark, signifying the Denver Mint, are positioned neatly near the bottom. While millions were minted, what makes some of these coins rare is not the date alone, but the unique errors, mint conditions, and uncirculated states that drive collectors wild. Flip the coin over, and you're greeted with the classic reverse design that has graced Roosevelt dimes for decades. A torch in the center, symbolizing liberty, flanked by an olive branch on the left for peace, and an oak branch on the right for strength and victory. These three symbols are a perfect reflection of American values. Surrounding them is the bold inscription, United States of America, the powerful motto, E pluribus unum, meaning, out of many, one, and, of course, the denomination 1 dime. This isn't just a design. It's a statement of history, pride, and resilience captured in the smallest coin in everyday currency. Now, here's where things get exciting. While the face value of this coin is only 10 cents, certain error varieties, rare mint conditions, and collector demand have made the 2002 D-dime an absolute star in numismatic circles. Imagine finding a coin with a double die obverse, a full torch strike, or even a misaligned die error. Such coins are like hidden treasure. Some rare 2002 D-dimes in pristine condition, graded as MS 68 or higher by PCGS or NGC, can command hundreds or even thousands of dollars at auctions. But if you stumble upon an extremely rare die variety or experimental strike, the value could soar into the tens of thousands, making that little dime a life-changing discovery. What makes this even more thrilling is the condition factor. In the world of coin collecting, condition is king. Coins that have survived the last 2 decades without a single scratch, never touching circulation, are known as mint state coins. These beauties often reside in coin rolls, mint sets, or were carefully preserved by collectors from day one. If you find a 2002 D-dime with sharp details, blazing luster, and no visible wear, you might be looking at a serious prize. Collectors go crazy for coins graded MS 67, MS 68, and beyond, and prices can skyrocket because high-grade coins are exceptionally rare. Another fascinating element is the historical timing of the 2002 D-dime. While it's not technically part of the bicentennial coinage issued in 1976, collectors often include it in modern commemorative and error hunts because of its growing rarity and high grades. As older Roosevelt dimes become harder to find in top condition, more attention shifts to newer dates like 2002 D. Combine that with the fact that the Denver Mint is known for occasional striking errors, and you've got the perfect recipe for a coin that sparks bidding wars and auctions across the country. Let's not forget about the numismatic thrill. There's nothing quite like the adrenaline rush of finding a coin worth thousands in your loose change. That's why collectors, hobbyists, and even casual enthusiasts are constantly checking their dimes. Some 2002 D-dimes with proof-like qualities, mirror finishes, or off-metal errors have been discovered, turning ordinary pocket change into rare collectibles. And if you're lucky enough to come across one of these spectacular error coins, its value could easily surpass 5 figures. These are the coins that make headlines and change fortunes overnight. Beyond the financial allure, owning a rare dime like this is about holding a piece of American history. Every scratch, every shine, every detail tells a story about the minting process, the economy of the early 2000s, and the enduring legacy of Franklin D. Roosevelt. Collectors don't just see coins as money. They see them as time capsules, tiny artifacts that have witnessed decades of change. The 2002 D-dime, especially in flawless condition, is more than a coin. It's a work of art and a symbol of heritage. So, how can you increase your chances of finding one of these treasures? Start by checking your pocket change, searching through old coin rolls, and visiting estate sales or coin shops. Look for coins with sharp details, no signs of wear, and that elusive D mint mark. If you think you've found something special, get it professionally graded by a reputable service like PCGS or NGC, because authentication is key to unlocking its true value. And remember, the coin market is hotter than ever, so timing could mean everything when it comes to selling your prize. The 2002 Roosevelt Dime proves that rare coins aren't just a thing of the past. They're still out there, waiting to be discovered. Whether it's a high-grade specimen, a dramatic mint error, or a proof-like rarity, these coins can fetch jaw-dropping prices that could change your financial future forever. So, keep your eyes open, because that ordinary-looking dime in your hand might just be the jackpot you've been dreaming of. Stay tuned for more incredible coin stories. And remember, every coin has a story, and some stories are worth a fortune. Next up in the 1965 marked a historic turning point in American coinage. For the first time since the early 20th century, U.S. dimes were struck without any silver content. This change was monumental because prior to 1965, Roosevelt dimes were composed of 90% silver and 10% copper. In response to a nationwide silver shortage and rising metal prices, the U.S. Mint decided to remove silver from circulating dimes, quarters, and half dollars. Thus, the 1965 Roosevelt dime was minted with a clad composition, outer layers of copper-nickel bonded to a pure copper core. While this was done to save costs, little did the mint know that these coins would eventually become highly sought after by collectors due to transitional errors and unique varieties that slipped into circulation. At first glance, a 1965 dime looks quite ordinary, but its significance lies in the era of transition it represents. Some collectors describe the 1965 dime as the end of an age for silver coins. This year produced billions of copper-nickel dimes, making them common in circulation. However, a handful of dimes from 1965 were accidentally struck on silver planchets intended for the previous year's coins. These transitional error coins are now considered among the rarest and most desirable pieces in modern U.S. coinage. If you happen to find one, you could be holding a small fortune in the palm of your hand. One of the main reasons these silver 1965 dimes exist is due to the mint's massive backlog during the transition period. To meet public demand, old 90% silver planchets from 1964 were mistakenly fed into the presses alongside the new clad blanks. These errors were not intentional, but they created one of the most fascinating numismatic treasures in American history. Today, these silver 1965 dimes have been confirmed by third-party grading companies like PCGS and NGC, and they regularly command thousands of dollars at auctions, sometimes even higher depending on condition and rarity. So, what makes the silver 1965 dime so valuable? Rarity is the key factor. While billions of copper-nickel dimes were minted in 1965, only a tiny fraction were struck on leftover silver planchets. Most experts estimate that fewer than 10 specimens are confirmed today, and many believe that the actual number in existence could be slightly higher, but still extremely limited. Collectors are willing to pay astronomical prices for such coins because they represent an error that should never have happened, a true minting anomaly. In addition to the famous silver error, 1965 dimes are also known for high-grade examples that command strong premiums. While circulated dimes from this year are worth only face value, those in mint state or with full bands on the reverse, indicating sharply struck details on the torch's bands, can fetch impressive sums. A pristine 1965 dime, graded MS67, with full bands designation can bring hundreds of dollars at auction, and even higher for coins in superb gem condition. This shows that even non-error coins from this year have collector value if they are in exceptional quality. What makes the design of the Roosevelt dime special is its symbolism. The obverse features the dignified portrait of Franklin D. Roosevelt, the 32nd President of the United States, who led the nation through the Great Depression and World War II. Surrounding his profile is the word liberty, the national motto, "In God We Trust," and the date. The reverse, on the other hand, carries powerful imagery, a torch representing liberty, flanked by an olive branch for peace and an oak branch for strength and victory. The Latin phrase, e pluribus unum, meaning out of many, one, reflects unity, a timeless message for a nation transitioning into a new economic era. When we talk about value, The silver transitional era from 1965 takes center stage. These rare dimes have sold for astonishing amounts in the coin market. In fact, auction records show that collectors have paid well over $7,000 to $10,000 for authenticated examples of these rare transitional errors, and prices could continue to rise as demand outpaces supply. Imagine finding one of these in an old coin jar or inherited collection. It could literally change your financial future overnight. But how can you identify if you have a valuable 1965 dime? The quickest way is to check its weight. A standard copper-nickel-clad dime weighs 2.27 grams, while a silver dime weighs about. So, if you come across a 1965 Roosevelt dime, don't dismiss it as ordinary pocket change. Inspect it carefully because you might be holding a piece of history worth thousands of dollars, or even more. These coins remind us that treasures often hide in plain sight, and sometimes, the smallest pieces of metal carry the greatest stories. Whether you're a seasoned collector or a curious enthusiast, the 1965 dime is proof that numismatics can turn everyday objects into priceless artifacts. So keep searching, because the next life-changing discovery could be sitting quietly in your coin jar. The 1965 dime is that it was born during a time of panic over coin shortages in the United States. During the early 1960s, people began hoarding silver coins because of the rising value of silver compared to their face value. This led to a massive shortage of coins in circulation. To solve this crisis, the U.S. Mint eliminated silver from dimes and quarters starting in 1965. However, this rush to change the composition of coins created opportunities for mistakes, like silver planchets accidentally being used in the production of 1965 dimes. These mistakes are what makes certain 1965 dimes worth a small fortune today. The excitement surrounding the 1965 silver dime isn't just because of its rarity. It's also a symbol of a transitional moment in American economic history. Collectors call these coins transitional errors because they were struck during the shift from one metal standard to another. These rare pieces often capture the imagination of coin enthusiasts and investors alike. Owning such a coin isn't just about its monetary value. It's about holding a tangible piece of history, a mistake that slipped through the cracks during a time of great change in the U.S. monetary system. Another element that drives the high value of the 1965 dime is demand from serious collectors. The numismatic community thrives on stories of rarity, and the 1965 silver dime is among the top-tier finds for error collectors. When these coins surface at major auctions, they attract intense bidding wars because they're almost impossible to find. Most error coins from this era were melted down or went unnoticed, making surviving examples unbelievably scarce. The result? These coins can fetch tens of thousands of dollars, and as time goes on, their value only climbs due to increasing demand and diminishing supply. What's even more exciting is that these treasures can appear anywhere. Unlike coins locked away in museums, the 1965 silver dime still turns up in personal collections, old coin jars, and even pocket change from time to time. There are incredible stories of people discovering these coins while sorting through old family savings or inherited collections. Just imagine the thrill of realizing that the dime you thought was worth 10 cents could actually be worth thousands, or even more. That's the magic of coin collecting. It combines history, mystery, and the possibility of a life-changing discovery. If you're serious about finding one of these gems, the best advice is to start searching now. Look through your old coins, especially if you have collections from the 1960s. Weigh every 1965 dime you come across, and check for that silver edge. Even if you don't find the elusive silver transitional error, you might uncover other valuable varieties or high-grade examples that can sell for a premium. And remember, as long as interest in numismatics continues to grow, coins like the 1965 silver dime will only become more desirable and more valuable in the future. So keep your eyes open. Your fortune might be hiding in plain sight.